Staying with that story, a security guard accused of shooting dead 14-year-old Jevano Siegel during the Mangaung protests on Monday has been granted bail of 1,000 rand. The guard is being charged with culpable homicide and the matter has been postponed to the 9th of June. 35 community members accused of public violence, robbery and arson were also in court today. That case has been postponed to Friday for formal bail applications. I'm joined now by eNCA's Lindokuhle Xulu, who joins me from the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court for an update on the court appearances. And Lindo, there's been an outcome in as far as the bail application is concerned, as well as the appearance of the 35 other people. Take me through what happened in court today.
Well, first it was the appearance of the 35 community members that were arrested following some of those demonstrations. That protest action we saw my colleagues Lindokuhle Xulu covering in the past couple of days since Monday. What we do understand was that community members are demonstrating for various number of reasons, but key is, of course, the concern around service delivery, job creation, and what they are calling for then is a disbandment of some of the structures in as far as leaders are concerned in Mangaung. But one of the things that happened today, 35 members of the community, as I said, appeared for the first time. And what we understand is that the state is in fact opposing bail because they're saying that there is a case of public violence, there is a case of in fact arson, as well as the case of robbery, because we do understand that some of the stores were in fact looted around the area. One of those charges, which is the charge of robbery, brings us to the other point that there was in fact a child that was killed, a 14-year-old who was supposed to turn 15-year-old on June just next month, was also shot. We do understand that the security who also appeared at the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court today, who has been granted bail of 1,000 rand, was trying to fire a warning shot. That is why we are told by the court that he is charged with culpable homicide and not necessarily murder. But so those two cases have come to a conclusion today, one being that the 35 people will be remanded in custody and their case will be on Friday, where they will be formally applying for bail. And the second part of it is that even without representation, the state did not oppose the bail of the security guard that was arrested in connection with the death of that 14-year-old who was in fact shot during some of the demonstrations.
And Lindo, what energy are we seeing around the court appearances themselves? And the energy I'm talking about is community energy. We know that in contexts such as these ones, when there's been a protest and then a group is arrested, usually that's followed by community activism around their court appearances. We're seeing none of that in this instance?
Quite the opposite, in fact, to us, because one of the things we were expecting is that there will be demonstrations outside here, seeing that many of those people were arrested during that protest action, calling for all of those things, including service delivery for the community of Mangaung. But I can tell you that there was no one outside here demonstrating for those 35 people that had appeared in front of the court today, as well as any demonstrations that are in connection with the men alleged to have shot the 14-year-old to dead while trying to fire a warning shot. But what we saw inside, Tulas, if I can speak about energy, is when those 35 people were told that they will be remanded in custody until Friday, where they will be having their formal bail application. It was almost as if they couldn't believe it. It was almost as if they expected that they'll be released or maybe given a slap on the wrist in terms of being given warning. But they were quite surprised when the magistrate announced that they will be remanded in custody and they need to undergo a formal bail application, and the fact that the state is opposing their bail. So some of them were crying, in fact, to us. We saw many of them even screaming inside court, devastated that they will have to spend more days inside the cells. But one of the things I can tell you is that we do understand that there are some meetings being had by community leaders trying to get a sense of what the way forward is, with the development, of course, of the MEC announcing that there is a possible postponement on the charts, which is one of the things that the community has been calling for as far as the leadership is concerned.
All right, thank you for that. That's eNCA's Lindokuhle Xulu out in Mangaung at the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court there reporting for us.